A big part of my job is trying out new gear. I've done a bunch of these gear I'll never sell videos, which seem to have conjured up a conversation about gear and music composition, which is great, but in retrospect, years later, I don't think I'll be doing those types of videos anymore because new gear comes out that's better at the thing that you're trying to accomplish, and then you slowly stop using the old gear that you said you would never sell. So you see where I'm going with this. No gear is safe from being sold. Ironically, even though I'm getting rid of this gear, it's still great gear and it's something that you might be interested in picking up yourself. There are affiliate links for all of the gear mentioned in this video. Using those links is one way to really help support this channel. And of course, a huge thank you to anyone who's already used my purchase links in previous videos. Let's start with the Play Differently Model 1.4. I said I'd never sell it. I'm selling it. Why am I selling it? Well, a few reasons. It's the best DJ performance mixer that I've ever owned, by far, that's for sure. Fully analog. It's a proper DJ mixer with 2 effects ends per track. There's a high pass and low pass filter per track, and there's also this like more of a sculpting secondary filter per track as well. One of the reasons why I got rid of the Model 1.4 is that if you're running audio digital via software into it, it automatically requires you to carry an audio interface. I was using the Apogee Ensemble, which has D-sub out, so a D-sub cable just makes everything a lot more simple because all the routing is done through one cable. But then you're carrying like a rack mount Apogee Ensemble, it's a lot to travel with, or even to just set up, like to have in a setup at home. If you're carrying a more compact audio interface, then chances are pretty much 100% that it doesn't have a D-sub audio out option. Then there's like tons of cable management to deal with. Of course, you could just have a fully DAW-less setup and route everything via RCA, but then you have like 4 units to carry around with you or set up. So again, it's just no matter what the setup is, it's extra hassle. And that's especially since I got used to the SSL Big Six. The Big Six essentially replaced the Model 1.4 in my studio. And it's just one of those things where I was like, I should probably go back to the Model 1.4 every so often at least because it's awesome, but just never did because of the convenience of the Big Six in comparison. At this point, I've covered the Big Six a bunch on this channel, so if you'd like more context or information, here's a video that you might be interested in. But in a nutshell, it's definitely not a DJ mixer, and it's not even a performance mixer in the same way that the Model 1.4 is. It doesn't have a high pass or a low pass per channel, which I definitely miss, but it's an all-in-one machine, which is perfect for me. It's a mixer as well as an audio interface, all in one. I'm someone who's into hardware and I want convenient ways to record that hardware into my DAW and maybe even incorporate clips or effects or whatever I want from my DAW into the hardware, the Big Six. I can do all that, and also it has 4 mono channels as well as 8 stereo channels. If I just gassed you up about the SSL Big Six, there is an affiliate link for that in the description of this video. And the last reason why I'm getting rid of the Model 1.4 is because a lot of the live stuff that I'm getting into now, it's recently become a lot more Ableton oriented. So just to go off on another setup that's even more portable, the MX12 and the PC12. So these are both actually MIDI controllers that feel like hardware because of the way that they're built. Those 2 controllers mixed with Ableton and maybe the Oxy One or some other powerful sequencer, that in itself is a killer setup, fully digital. In that case, if you want to, you could route your low pass and high pass per track through Ableton. And so the Model 1.4 just isn't doing it for me anymore for all those reasons. The OP1 Field. This is another unit that I said I would never sell, and I'm selling it. Yes, it was the most unique, portable, fun thing for what it was until, can you guess it? The OPXY came out. And I still think that it's a really fun, like beginner-friendly, unique workflow. It's one of the first synths that I learned. I love the sound of the synth engines. I love the effects a lot. I find that it's a really cool sketch pad to start off with ideas. All that being said, I've become a lot more of a sequencer guy for sure, which is why right now I'm so obsessed with Elektron stuff. I just love their sequencers. And I find that the OP1 field sequencers they've just become a little bit too basic for me. As far as the sounds and of course the whole experience of the OP1 field or the OG OP1, well, we pretty much have that now with the OPXY. It's the exact same design, the exact same feel. I find that the sounds are even better on the OPXY than they are on the OP1 field. It has a great sequencer that sort of steps into the Elektron territory. So for me, it's just the better way to go. If you want to go a lot cheaper than the OPXY with that same Teenage Engineering experience, the OPZ is another option. Although it looks like Teenage Engineering is done with that. They're not manufacturing those anymore, and they've moved on to the OPXY, which is a very similar workflow to the OPZ. I mean, the sequencer is basically just plucked out of the OPZ and into the OPXY. It's pretty much the exact same. Next up, the Octatrack. Yes, I got rid of my Octatrack. Why? I don't know what it was. I could never really dig into the workflow of the Octatrack. It's a bit of a puzzler because, as I just mentioned, I love Elektron units. I have the Digitact right here, actually. I have the Analog 4 right here, actually. I have the Analog Rhythm. It's my favorite drum machine. I've tried the Syntact, super fun. The Digitone 2 seems great. Those are Elektron's newer units, and with those units came a more fluid workflow. And there's something about the Octatrack where the workflow, it's a few steps behind the other current units that they're selling. And very basic things like button combinations are just like slightly different on the Octatrack. So every time I picked up the machine, I was like, wait, how do I do that again? And then I had to spend like 30 minutes trying to figure out how to do it. I also had a hard time with the manual because I found that the language was very dense. It was kind of hard to learn from it. So I fell upon people's videos. EasyBot is obviously the go-to guy for the Octatrack. He was super helpful with his videos. I took some lessons with EasyBot, watched a ton of related content. Of course, I understand the power of the unit. You kind of have to choose the way that you want to use it. And there's so many different ways that you can use it. But when it doesn't sit right, it doesn't sit right. Next is the Hologram Electronics Microcosm. A few years back when this pedal hit the market, I feel like everyone's heads exploded. Everyone loved this pedal right away. It's very unique sounding. I found myself using it on pads, on more plucky things like melodic synths. And my personal favorite, I was using it even on drums. It gave like this sort of organic, glitchy texture behind the drums, which I thought was really cool. I think that with a lot of effects pedals, the sound is the sound. It's one of those things where it's like immediately recognizable when someone's using the Microcosm. And even more to that point, I found myself falling on maybe one or two presets to the same point of going with the SSL Big Six as opposed to the Model 1.4. In my opinion, with the Microcosm, something better came out for me. I actually find myself using Hologram Electronics Chroma console, which actually does have some elements of the Microcosm in it. But as a whole, it's definitely more of like a lo-fi texture degradation pedal. And those are the sorts of effects pedals that I find myself using more and more. Arturia's MicroFreak. Sold it. So many artists have talked about how amazing the MicroFreak is here on YouTube, and it's true. In my opinion, this is the best bang for your buck on the market, alongside the Drum Brute Impact, which may be the best bang for your buck drum machine on the market. So Arturia really knows how to do it when it comes to pricing things. They know how to cut us a deal. The MicroFreak makes for an excellent entry level or intermediate or even professional synth. There's a clip of David Guetta using it in his DJ setup, and it sounds incredible. So all these great things about it. Why did I sell it? Because I have the MiniFreak now. The MiniFreak and MicroFreak are very similar in many ways, but the MiniFreak is clearly just a step up. It's got more octaves to actually play on, and also the keys are weighted keys. They're not like the weird MicroFreak keys. What would you even call those? It has two separate sound engines, each with their own analog filters and effects. There's a built-in effects section on the side. It's just much more rich in comparison. I'm also not worried about having gotten rid of the MicroFreak, because if I want to pick one up, I could probably find it on Facebook Marketplace for like $150 or something. As I mentioned, no gear is safe anymore because new stuff comes out and old stuff just has to get sold. And now, a word from today's sponsor, DistroKid. If you're watching this video, chances are that you'd like to officially release your music to all major streaming platforms. So first off, why choose DistroKid? They are hands down the most affordable music distribution platform in the game. We're talking like just over 20 bucks a year affordable to release unlimited music. And by the way, on top of that, I also have a discount for you linked in the description of this video. You collect 100% of your streaming royalties with DistroKid, another huge plus, and they're designed specifically for independent artists and producers. How, you may ask? Well, here's a list of tools that they offer that will help you with at least some of the heavy lifting when it comes to promoting your own music independently. For example, there's Hyperfollow, which is a free landing page that I've personally been using for years now across all of my social media. It's similar to a Linktree type of situation where you can lead people to specific pages or maybe different social medias. You can post video content, maybe a link to your latest single, and you can create an unlimited amount of landing pages at no extra cost. DistroKid also offers promo cards, another free tool that you could use to promote your music on social media. So many other features, and again, just over $20 a year. To me, it's a no-brainer if you're looking for a music distributor. Well, now you know where to go. Sign up using the discount linked in the description of this video.